What's up guys, in this video I'll be breaking down and analysing the upcoming Yonex Badminton Thailand Open for the 12th to the 17th of January 2021. This is the first big international event back in 2021 and the first time we will be seeing a lot of the players competing since the start of 2020. The prize pool of the Yonex Thailand Open is $1 million. Since the draws are out, I will be going over the likely matches we will see for the tournament. It's also important to note China has withdrawn from the tournament. The amount of players/pairs in a draw is 32, meaning you will have to win 5 games to win the tournament. The 32 players/pairs are also split up into 2 sets of 16. The winner of the group of 16 meets the other one in the final. The draws are decided by the seeding of the players. For example, the number 1 and number 2 seeds will be divided between the 2 groups of 16 so that they will potentially meet each other in the final. In the men's singles, starting from the top, I think Kenta Momota will win his first game and so will Rasmus Gemke, therefore meeting each other in the round 2. This will be a good match to see how well Momota is playing after his injury and long layoff. However, I do think Kenta Momota will have enough to get past Gemke, although it will be close. You then have Anthony Ginting, who should win his match, as well as Kanta Suniyama. Anthony Ginting should be progressing through his group to then play Kenta Momota in the quarterfinals. Victor Axelsen should also be reaching the quarterfinals, however his round 2 game might be harder than people expect against the winner of Sai Praneeth versus Kenta von Wangcharoen, who are both in the top 15. Victor Axelsen's quarterfinal match will likely be against Jonathan Christie, who is favourite to reach that stage being the 6th seed. Kenta Nishimota is definitely not an easy opponent though if he plays against him in the round 2. This means now in the quarterfinals of the first 16, I think you will have Kenta Momota versus Anthony Ginting and Victor Axelsen versus Jonathan Christie. Although Kenta Momota is the number 1 seed, I think Anthony Ginting has an advantage going into this game, and I believe will take the win. This will be Kenta Momota's first tournament back, therefore he won't be 100%, and Ginting is one of the best in the world. Victor Axelsen has some really close games with Jonathan Christie, and I don't think this will be any different. However, Victor Axelsen will be high with confidence compared to Jonathan Christie, and I think Victor Axelsen is just that bit more consistent and will beat him. This means I think you will have Anthony Ginting versus Victor Axelsen in the semi-final. In my opinion, this is a 50-50 game. However, if I had to pick a winner, I would say Anthony Ginting. But like I said, this could go either way, and it will likely be a very close match. In the other group of 16, Enkelong Angos, the 7th seed, should be reaching the quarterfinals, although I think his game against the Chinese Taipei player, Wang Tzu-wei, will be very close. Although I don't think either of them will beat Anders Antonsen, who should make it to the semi-finals, as long as he shows consistent form. I've seen Lee Chuk-Yu play some incredible badminton though on his day, and he might be someone to look out for. To face Anders Antonsen in the semi-finals, I think it will be down to the winner of Li Xia versus Chao Tian Chen, who should both get through their groups. I actually think Li Xia might upset Chao Tian Chen here, and reach the semi-finals. Then in my predictions you have Anders Antonsen versus Li Xia. Anders Antonsen did have COVID-19 in December, which might have affected his training, so therefore this might impact him. Once again, another very close game, but I would say Anders Antonsen could beat him. I really rate his progression, although the Malaysian has really impressed me as well. Then in the final it would be Anders Antonsen versus Anthony Ginting. In this match I would favour Anthony Ginting to win. It would be an excellent match. There you have it, for the men's singles I predict Anthony Ginting to reach the final and win. In the men's doubles, the number 1 seeds Kevin Sukamolia and Marcus Gideon will likely reach the second round and then also the quarterfinals. The quarterfinal match will be interesting because I'm not sure who they will be up against. We will see Govi Shem and Tan Wee Keng back playing against their Malaysian teammates Aaron Cha and So Woo Yik. The winner of that will most likely play the tall Russians, who could also surprise them with their unique playstyle and hard-hitting smashes, although So Woo Yik and Aaron Cha are favourites to get through. However, I don't think any of these pairs will beat Kevin Sukamolia and Marcus Gideon in the quarterfinal. To play them in the semi-finals, you have 2 pairs that stand out the most, and that's Takeshi Kimura and Keigo Sonoda from Japan, as well as Fajar Alfian and Rayan Ardiento from Indonesia. An underdog in that group is also Marcus Ellis and Chris Langridge from England, who played great in the Denmark Open. However, I do think the Japanese pair will be more consistent, especially compared to Ardiento and Alfian, and will play the number 1s in the semis. Although this semi-final will be a great game, I can see the Minions getting through with a win. In the other group of 16, I think you will see Hiroyuki Endo and Yuta Watanabe get into the quarterfinals rather comfortably, where I believe they will play Li Yang and Wang Qilin from Chinese Taipei. I do rate the Chinese Taipei pair really highly, but Yuta and Hiroyuki have been excellent, and I think they're just overall better. The other pair to play them is really hard to predict. I think it will be between Hendra Setiawan and Mohammad Hassan, as well as Choi Soo-kyu and Si Sung-jae. I think the Indian pair Satwik Saraj, Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty could also upset the Indonesians. However, I don't think any of those pairs beat Hiroyuki Endo and Yuta Watanabe on their day. It is the first tournament back though, so upsets definitely are likely to happen. Then in the final, this means you will have Kevin Sukamuljo and Marcus Gideon versus Yuta Watanabe and Hiroyuki Endo, the rematch of the All England. The Japanese pair have beaten the world number 1 so many times previously, so I predict this could happen again, and the Japanese pair Yuta and Hiroyuki win the men's doubles. The mixed doubles is interesting because the world number 1 and 2 pairs are from China who won't be there. The number 1 seeds for this tournament are Dechapol Puavaranukroh and Sapsari Taratanachi from Thailand, who in my opinion should reach the final. I believe the first 16 is easier than the second 16, however there will be still some really tough games there. You can see who I think will win the matches here. In the next 16, I think a pair that might really shine is Yuta Watanabe and Arisa Higashina from Japan, and of course Praveen Jordan and Malata Octaviante. Mark Lamsfors and Isabel Hertrich looked excellent in the Denmark Open when they won it too, so it wouldn't surprise me if they made a good run in this tournament. Out of all these pairs though, I believe Praveen Jordan and Malata Octaviante are the best though, and will go on to win the mixed doubles. In the women's singles, I think it's a competition between the top 3 seeded players. You have Tai Tzu Ying, who's the best women's singles player in the world and is favourite to win the Yonex Thailand Open. You then also have 2 good Japanese players in Akana Yamaguchi and Nozomi Okahara. Nozomi Okahara recently won the Japanese Open, so she does have a good chance of doing well in the tournament. Although I do think Tai Tzu Ying will win the women's singles, she has looked so dominant in recent times. Finally, the women's doubles, and there are 2 Japanese pairs again who are top seeded players, and without China being there, I think one of them will win the tournament. There are also 2 good Korean pairs who have a very good chance of beating them as well though. In the Japanese Open, Yuki Fukushima and Sayaka Hirota were victorious. Therefore, since we haven't seen any of these players play in almost a year, it's very hard to predict one of the Japanese pairs will not win. Therefore, I think Fuki Yukishima and Sayaka Hirota will reach the final and win it. That's my breakdown and predictions of the upcoming Yonex Thailand Open in January. I'm really excited to see the players out there competing again and potential matchups. Let me know in the comments what you guys think will happen. It's so hard to predict since we haven't seen them play in such a long time. I think you could see a lot of potential upsets as well. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like the video to see more badminton content. Have an amazing day.